So, first is atong i-discuss is ang chapter 1, which is the field of forensic documents examination. So, before that, i-identify muna nato og uno ang forensic science. So, forensic science is the application of scientific techniques and principles in order to provide evidence to legal or related investigations and determination. So, first is ang forensic. So, also meaning sa forensic, it is finding evidence to solve a crime. So, another forensic science, which means naggamit siya ng science, nag-apply siya ng science to determine evidences or finding evidences to solve a crime. In simpler terms, it can be defined as science as it pertains to legal problems. So, muna siya ang forensic science. Next is the criminalistics. Diyan word ang criminalistics, or the application of forensic science to criminal matters, should be distinguished from the term criminology, or the science study of crime and criminal behavior. So, ang criminalistic is, baga na sila connection sa word na criminology. Pero diyan po sila differences. Ang criminalistic is the study of evidence to investigate crimes, while ang criminology is the examination of crime within the society. So, ang criminology is nagkuano siya og kanang what are the reasons or the criminal behaviors of a person nga mo commit ng crime. Then, next is the forensic document examinations. So, ang forensic document examination is the practice of the application of document examination to the purpose of the law. So, sa Philippines is jay term nga gigamit para sa forensic document examination, and it can be called as question document examination or scientific examination of question documents. So sa Philippines, ang forensic document examination is kanang gitawag nga QD or short term for question documents. Kanang dyan pa siya lain term ang question documents sa Philippines, which is the handwriting examination or the handwriting analysis. And then, natay gitawag nga graphology. Graphology is the study of handwriting to identify the writer's personality traits. So, ang graphology day is ang isa ka examination to determine the handwriting of a person. So, examination include the following: handwriting and signature comparison. So, i-compare ang handwriting and signature sa kanang pike or unsay tinuod. Detection of alteration, deletion, and substitution. So, i-detect ni dya kung diyan ba mga alteration nga nahitabo sa mga documents or signatures, sa deletion sa mga documents or substitution, diyan gipang ilisan. Mechanical and electronic impression comparison. Then, detection of counterfeits, kanang mga gipang peke. Decipherment of obliterated text. Examination of water soap, chart, stain, or torn documents. Ink and paper comparison. Determination of sequence of entry. Detection and analysis of indented and other accidental writing, and the age of documents. So, napodre ang gibutang is, a combination of examination techniques may be required depending on the question raised about the integrity and method of production of the question documents. Example is ang wills, checks, credit cards, and receipt, credit card receipt, business contract, marriage contract, birth certificates, mortgage, deeds of land, transfers and leases, insurance application, agreements, accounting, ledgers, and financial record, anonymous and threatening letters, suicide notes, tests and examinations, medical charts, diaries, agendas, and appointment books, and legal files. So, next is ang PNP, Question Document Examination Division. So, mao ni ang mga trabaho nga ginihimo sa mga PNP nga related sa document examination. Mao ni lang gitubuhat. First is, their function to examine question documents specifically includes the following. First is the handwriting examination. So, in terms of question documents, ang ilang first nga i-identify or ilang i-examine is the handwriting, including hand lettering. So, ang the way the person writes, ang ilang i-compare ang kanang tinuod nga handwritten sa kanaang owner o sa handwritten sa katong nag-forge, including the letters such as anonymous letter, sa ransom note, and suicide notes. So, mano siya mga example sa mga notes nga gina-examine sa mga police. And signatures, kung ang signature ba is from the real owner or sa kadtorang mga nameke. Second is the imprint examination, including those produced by manual devices such as rubber stamps, daters, stamps, and some cancellation stamps. Then mechanical devices na ginagamit nila, typewriters and check writers, electronic printing devices, typewriting. Then sa next is ang electronic printing devices such as the typewriters, computer printers, time clocks, and cash registers. Sumato siya sa imprint examination, nagamit na sila ng mga materials, which is the manual devices, mechanical devices, and electronic devices. Sa writing media examination is including instruments, inks, and papers. So tag-examine nila ang mga kanang mga butang nga ginagamit sa kanang paghimo ng documents, including the inks and papers, if kana ang same ba ang gigamit na mga instrument sa kana ang giforge o sa tinuod nga document. Dating examination including absolute determination. Example is dates of introduction of products. Then relative determination is erasure or alteration. Changes such as changes, insertion, and substitutions. Next, examination of falsification and alteration, including removal. So, i-examine nila kung diyan ba yung mga changes sa original documents. Then, examination of invisible, faded, and obscure writing and impression of writing. So, kung diyan ba yung katulad sa atong photocopy nga dahil gitawag nga obliteration nga diyan tag-ilisan. Examination of preternatural paper characteristics, including tears, fasteners, example is paper clip and staples, cuts, and perforations. So, examination of preternatural paper characteristics is dyan mga clips or mga kanang lukma sa kanaang stapler. Miscellaneous examination including envelope, tampering, adhesive lamination, typist characteristics, and linguistics. Then, ang PNP sub is mag-conduct ng lectures to PNP, AFP, and other government agencies. Tumaw na siya ang trabaho sa PNP in question document examination. Then, conduct field laboratory works. Question documents examiners are sent to agencies, offices to conduct examination and photograph original documents that cannot be submitted to PNP crime laboratory. So, mag-conduct sila ng field laboratory works, including related to question documents examinations. Then, attend sila ng court duties. Nadiri sa table, the PNP Crime Lab Service is naka-indicate dere o kanaang pila ka days ang ilahang i-google para sa kanaang pag-examine sa mga documents. Like, for example, is examination of altered or erased documents. So, ang time duration nila is 4 working days. So, maglaan sila ng 4 days para ma-finalize nila ang ilang conclusion regarding sa pag-examine nila sa altered or kanang erased nga documents. Then, the documentary requirements is kanang dapat na sila 4 copies of letter request and original copy of altered erased documents. So, ano sila ang sa documentary requirements is kung una dapat ilahang dalon during sa examinations. Next is ang forensic document examiner. So, forensic document examiners are expert in analyzing document, were generally referred to as question document examiners. So, ang kanang mga tao nga mo conduct ng examination regarding sa question documents is ginatawag sila nga forensic document examiners. And then, pero diyan sad sila laing term or laing nga pangalan. They can also be called as forensic scientists, document examiners, document expert, handwriting experts. or by a combination of this and other description. Today, sa kuman nga mga sa kuman nga tawag sa ila is forensic document examiner. Forensic document examiner or a question document examiner refers to a person who studies all aspects of the documents to determine its authenticity, origin, handwriting, photocopies, inks, and papers. So, ang forensic document examiner is, ang iyang trabaho is to study all the aspects of a documents. Kung authentic ba siya, original ba siya, ang iyang handwritten, kinsay tag-iya ana, and then, kung ano ang gigamit nga ink, and then ang paper, then mga kalainan na sa handwritten, gikan sa original to forge nga mga documents. Kanang dyan ay mga changes nga nahitabo. Mao na ang ilahang i-examine. So, the goal of forensic document examiner is to study and investigate documents in order to determine the fact about their preparation and history. So, ang goal sa forensic document examiner is mahibalaan nila if that document is authentic or not. If that document is genuine. Kung sa owner ba na siya or not. The work usually involves the examination of handwriting, but the forensic document examiner's scope of expertise also includes the following: the recognizing the genuineness, mao taglaong nga if tinuod ba na siya or not. Analyzing color, tone of inks, papers, and other substances that comprise documents. Then, analyzing the color, tone of inks is if the ink is the same ba sa original nga document or not. Then, ang paper, kung pareha ba sa original o dili. Then, revealing additions and substitution. Ila pong i-examine if diyan by mga changes nga nahitabo sa documents and also diyan by tagpang-ilisan nga mga kibali word dito sa document. Restoring or deciphering, erase, and obliterated text. So, in case diyan ay mga word nga na-change din ha sa document, ilahan nang i-detect or ilang alamon o uno to nga word ang i-ilisan diya sa document. And then, naigibutang rin nga duties of and responsibility of PNP Crime Laboratory. First is to examine, identify, compare, and analyze signatures, handwriting, initials, and typewriting in question documents. So, one of the duties sa ang PNP Crime Laboratory is to examine mao to ilang examine nilang isa ka document if it is genuine or not. Forged ba na siya dyan by substitution, alteration yung nahitabo sa document. Identify, compare, and analyze signature. Ila pong i-compare ang tinuod na signature dito sa forged one. 2 is to conduct examination, identification, comparison, and analysis of obliteration, erasure, and abrasion and checks, treasury notes, and stamps. So, dili ra kay nag-focus ang mga question document examiner dito sa or ang PNP Crime Laboratory dito sa document nga gi-forge, but also ila pong duties and responsibility nga i-examine ang mga ang checks, treasury notes, and stamp in case nga diay mga mali nga makita dito ng like for example is kag gamitan ng lain ay gisundog ra ang ang perma dito sa cheque. So if na sila ma-detect na murag dili mao ilad nang i-examine. That is one of the duty of PNP Crime Laboratory. To conduct examination, comparison, analysis of interlineation, insertion, and distortion in question documents. Moto na mga changes na hindi pang ilisan ng mga words sa document. To take photographic reproduction of evidences that are examined, compared, analyzed, and identified. Next is to evaluate and prepare reports on document examined. So, one of their duties is maghimo sila ng report regarding sa examination na ilang tag-conduct. To conduct lectures regarding the different examination and question documents as well as the function and capabilities of the UDAD. So, mag-conduct sila ng mga lectures regarding sa paghimo nga ay pag-examine ng mga documents. To to appear as expert witness in civil and military courts regarding finding and question documents. So, as examiner is mutayo sa as expert witness during sa investigation or sa court proceedings. So, maara to siya ang sa chapter 1. Next is the chapter 2, which is the history of forensic document examination. So, there is a history is nanadri ang naka-indicate o kanus ang nagsugod ang pag-detect ng mga altered nga mga documents, kung kanus ang nagsugod ang document examinations. First is the history of writing. Writings are letters or symbols that are written or imprinted on the surface to represent the sound or words of a language. So, ang writing, kabalo naman ito sa writing, no? Which is ang magsulat kita ng mga letters or symbols, mga na siya ang writing. So, first nga, writing is ang cave drawing. Kanang makakuan ko mo sa sinaon ng mga tao nga, one way nga ilahang pag-pass ng message is adton mag-drawing sila. Mga na siya ang cave drawing, or also called as petroglyphs or petrograms. The paintings gradually develop into words, picture, or ideographs. So, ang moto gitawag na word pictures ang kato ilahang tagpuan, ang cave drawing. Then the first, ang pag-develop ng mga letters nga atong ginagamit karon is from Phoenician alphabet. The Phoenician alphabet, which was used and spread by Phoenician throughout the world between 70s and 50s BC, consisted of 22 letters and was written from right to left. The Phoenician alphabet was assimilated by many other cultures and become widely used. So, ang Phoenician alphabet, diha nagsugod ang mga letters na itong tagpanggamit. Pero ang way sa ilang pag-write is from right to left. So, ang ato din, ang pagsulat ba dyan nila sa una is nagikan sila sa right and then pa left. While sa Greek alphabet sa Phoenician is nag-consist na siya ng 22 letters. Then, sa Greek alphabet was derived from ang Phoenician alphabet and has been used by Greek. So, ang diri sa Greek alphabet, ang ilang kalainan sa Phoenician alphabet is that kung sa Phoenician is ang letters is consisted lang ng 22 letters, sa Greek alphabet is nag-consist sila ng 24 letters, and ang way sa pagsulat is from left to right, which is ang ato nang ginagamit nowadays, ang way sa Greek alphabet. And then, the Greek alphabet evolved into a Roman alphabet or the Latin alphabet, which initially consisted of disconnected capital letters for several centuries. Roman scribe invented the lowercase letters that were patterned from the capital letters. These letters simplified the forms and made it easier to copy manuscript. So, ang Roman alphabet is ang gi-evolve niya ang way ng Greek alphabet, which is naanay lowercase and the uppercase. Tapos, ang atong ginagamit ko man is maano siya ang Roman alphabet. Next is, dire na lang sa historical cases of the 20th century, which is nag-focus siya sa cases about sa mga sa mga kanang cases nga murag connected siya sa kanaang mga documents nga gipang forge, mga cases, mga kaso ni siya nga connected sa mga forged documents. Below are some historical cases that involve question documents and contributed to the advancement of forensic document examination as a discipline in the 20th century. Jai case, the Dreyfus Affair in 1894, the Bobby Frank kidnap and murder in 1924, the Lindbergh kidnapping trial in 1935, the Clifford Irving and the Howard Hughes biography in 1972, the Mormon Will in 1978, and the Hitler Diaries in 1983. So, kini nga mga case is kana ang kibali ang bantog ni siya nga ma-appeal siya sa question documents. It is because kumbaga ang gigamit gani nga mga evidences direya is ang mga forged documents or through sa pag-examine ng mga document nahibalan or na-solve ang usa ka kaso tungod ra sa paggamit ng mga tungod sa pag-examine ng usa ka document. Like for example, the Dreyfus Affair in 1894. So si Dreyfus was accused of treason by court-martial and sentenced to life in prison for allegedly communicating French military secrets to Germans. So kini siya is si Dreyfus was accused of treason or kanaganing nagbetray siya sa iyang country by communicating French military secrets to German. Sunod, ang question ang quandary, ang gihimo nga kanang evidence sa iyang kaso is ang one-page handwritten document listing secret French army documents discovered by a French spy in German embassy. So mao to siya ang gihimo nga evidence para sentensyahan si Dreyfus. Next is Bobby Frank kidnap and murder in 1924. So there is a kaso ni Bobby Frank. Si Bobby Frank is a son of a millionaire in Chicago. So ang story there sa Bobby Frank kidnap and murder in 1924. Si Frank is kanang while pauli siya sa ilaha is gikidnap siya na ay isa ka kotse nga ning sa iya, then gikidnap siya. Natingay ang parents wala na siya kauli, and then nakatanggap na lang sila og kanang ganing ransom note nga kana ang nagpahibalongan gikidnap ang si Frank. And then when they receive a phone call that Bobby had been kidnapped and a typewritten note demanding ransom the next morning. So ang kidnappers, ang quandary is ang gihimo nga evidence para mahibalan kung kinsa ang suspect is ang kadto ang typewritten notes nga nagdemand ng ransom. Then eventually suspicion centered on two wealthy and well-educated young men, which is si Richard Louis and Nathan Leopold. So nakuan sila nga sila mo'y kana ang suspect sa pagkidnap kang Frank. It is because nakuan man gud is Leopold owned a typewriter, but it was excluded as the source of the ransom note. By chance, police discovered that he used a typewriter of his study group in law school. So si Leopold is nag-own siya ng typewriter pero excluded ato as the source of ransom note. Kumbaga dili daw dito nagikan ang ransom note nga gihimo ni Leopold. Pero na-discovered sa police nga ang gigamit ba diyang typewriter is atong typewriter nga ilang ginagamit sa ilahang study group in a law school. And then, pages of notes used in his typewriter were compared to the ransom demand and demonstrated to be identical. So through atong iyahang gihimo na ransom note, nahibalaan nga sila gadyo ang suspect sa pagkidnap o pagpatay kang Bobby Frank. So diya na close ang case ni Bobby Frank and Leopold and Louis were tried and convicted for the murder and kidnap of Bobby Frank. So diha na-solve ang case ni Bobby Frank through sa ransom note nga gihatag nila sa parents ni Bobby Frank. Next case is the Lindbergh kidnapping trial in 1935. The Lindbergh kidnapping case is considered as being of the most significant case in the history of document examination. So si Charles A. Lindbergh, the 28-month-old son of famous aviator Charles Lindbergh, was kidnapped from the family home in New Jersey on the evening, March 1, 1932. So, ang report is, ang gigamit sa basihan is ang ransom note nga nakita dito sa scene. And then, The case became one of murder when a child's body was discovered 2 months later. So, ang kuan is, nakita na ang bata 2 months later. Pero ang investigation is naabot na more than 2 years and highly publicized trial in 1935. So, ang nahimod, ang kuan dere, ang suspect sa pagpatay sa mga bata is si Bruno Richard Hoffman, an illegal German immigrant, was found guilty of murder in the first degree and sentenced to death. So the handwritten on the ransom note was compared to samples from Hoffman by several document examiners who concluded that the note had been written by Hoffman. So through document examination sa kanto ang ransom note, na-identify nila kung kinsa ang suspect, which is si Hoffman. Kay gi-compare nila ang handwritten ni Hoffman dito sa ransom note nga nakita nila sa crime scene. So, ang ikaapat nga case is the Clifford Irving and the Howard Hughes biography. So, diri po sa case ni Clifford Irving, si Clifford Irving is ang iyang gilaong is ang gi-authorize siya ni Howard Hughes nga maghimo ng bibliography para makakuha ng kwarta dito sa McGraw-Hill, which is si Howard Hughes is wala siya dyan naghatag ng authorized kang Clifford Irving para himuan siya dyan ng bibliography. So kay ningkuan man si Clifford Irving kubaga ning dawat siya dyan ng kwarta gikan sa McGraw-Hill, tagkasuhan siya kay tungod sa ijahang pag-forge ng mga document or ang pag-forge niya sa bibliography ni Howard Hughes. Kasi Howard Hughes is an American business magnate, investor, aviator, aerospace engineer, filmmaker, and philanthropist. Kumbaga si Howard Hughes is a well-known man. Then he made the big-budget Hollywood films in the 1920s, set multiple world airspeed records as an aviator, and acquired an expanding Trans-World Airlines, which later merged with American Airlines. So, tungod kay well-known man si Howard Hughes, so, dako ba dyan o kwarta nga makuha dito si Clifford Irving. So, di ba, naghimo naman siya ng naghimo si Clifford Irving ng bibliography ni Hughes, which is wala siya tag-authorize ni Howard Hughes. Si Howard Hughes is kabalo siya dyan nga tag-forge ay tag-himuan siya dyan ng bibliography ni Clifford Irving, pero kabalo siya dyan nga maton niya gi-authorize. Pero tag-baragapon niya muragwa niya tag-demanda. Pero tungod sa mga examiner nga nagkanaang murag nagduda nga dili ka jud adto kang dili ka jud si Hughes ang naghimo sila ng examination nga si Osborne and Osborne. Brothers Paul and Russell Osborne compared samples of Hughes' known writing and the Irving forgeries and declared that the letters were written by the same hand. By January 7, 1972, Howard Hughes broke his 14 years of silence and exposed Clifford Irving. So, dali nag-expose ni Howard Hughes nga wala niya tag-tugtan or tag-authorize si Irving nga mohimo ng bibliography niya. And never authorized anyone to write his autobiography and never cash any checks from McGraw-Hill. So, what siya na nagdawat kanang check from McGraw-Hill. So, it means kanang dawat na si Clifford Irving ng kwarta from the McGraw-Hill. Next case is the Mormon Will in 1978. So, since si Howard Hughes is a well-known, connected na gapon ni siya sa case dari sa Howard Hughes biography in 1972. There is a Mormon will is when Howard Hughes died in 1976, apparently without leaving a will. The will's document purporting to be true will of Howard Hughes surfaced, thus becoming the most valuable and challengeable related case that document examiners has testified on. So sa Mormon will is taglaw nga si Howard Hughes is waya gani siya nagbili ng kana ang will sa iyang kayamanan kay kibali si kuan mo ba si Howard Hughes is a well-known businessman nga daghan na siya na-achieve. The most notorious of this Christian will include the notorious Mormon will, a 110 will discovered at the headquarters of the Mormon Church, also called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or the LDS Church, in Salt Lake City, Utah. The will left a huge sum of the Mormon Church, although Hughes only employed many LDS members and was not a member of the church himself. The will had many strange discrepancies, most glaring of which was that it left 1/16 of the state to the Utah gas station operator named Melvin Dowell. Die! Then Dumar claimed that he was awarded a huge part of the vast estate because he allegedly saved Huge in the Nevada desert in 1967. Dumar claim resulted in a series of court battles which had all ruled that the Mormon will was a forgery. So, ang dre is ang issue about sa Mormon will nga tagbilin ko no ni Howard Hughes before he died, which is tag-conclude nga dili dito tinuod nga si Mormon will is si Howard Hughes is nagbilin ng will. Unya, ang nag-forge na document is si Melvin Dumar. Ang iyang giingon is kuan ko no, tagbilinan ko na si ng kwarta ni ang Howard Hughes because he was awarded a huge part of the vast estate because gisave ko na niya si Howard Hughes sa Nevada Street in 1967. Unya tagkuan sa estate nga dili daw adto tinuod nga dayon ilang gi-conclude nga ang gihimo ni Dumar nga Mormon will was a forgery. The last case is the Hitler Diaries in 1987. In 1983, the world was stunned with the discovery of the Hitler Diaries. Document examiner and historians declared mixed reports regarding its authenticity. However, forensic laboratory testing revealed that elements in the paper contained modern ink that was not manufactured until 1956. Adolf Hitler died in 1945. So, ang Andreas, ang issue is ang ink na gigamit is dili ko no, wala pa ko na manufactured until 1956. Unya si Adolf Hitler is namatay 1945 pa. Linguistic and historical expert initially vouched for the authenticity of the purported diaries. Document examiner supported this claim because the diaries matched the samples from which they compared Hitler's handwritten. So, ang suspect dari sa pag-forge ng Hitler's diary is si Konrad Konjau, a dealer in military memorabilia who had forged Hitler's handwriting for many years, even before fake diaries. So, si Konde ay si Konrad Konjau is dugay na siya na forge sa handwritten ni Hitler before pa namatay si Hitler. The Hitler exemplar used by the examiners for comparison were actually forged by Konjau. So, dirian na kuha nila nga ang Hitler's diary is nga ang tag-forge ra ni Konrad Konjau. Then, nota siya sa chapter 2. Ang last case is the Hitler Diaries in 1983. Next is chapter 3, the documents. So, i-identify muna natin ang documents, which is, it is any material that contains marks, symbols, or signs, either visible, partially visible, or invisible, that may ultimately convey a meaning or message to someone. So, anything na na-convey na message is matawag nato nga documents. Kanang pencil or ink writing, typewriting or printing are the most usual form of documents. So, ang pagkuha ng mga document is nagamit siya ng ink or pen, and typewriting or printing. Ano siya ang way to make documents. The information contained in a document may be superficial. What is conveyed by the document is expressed in writing, handwriting, typewriting, or printing, or a combination of any of this. So, ang information daw na contained sa documents is through writing, typewriting, or printing. The information may also contain evidences regarding information about the identity of the writers and source of the typewriting or printing, the presence or traces of erased entries, and many other factors that can be discovered by document examiners. The significance of such discoveries can be of interest to investigating police officers or the courts, such as when the documents in question is not what it seems or carries a purpose visit. So, ang document kung pwede siya dyan na mag-convey ng information related to any crimes nga mahimong evidence to solve the case. Next is, what is question documents? The question document is one where the source of authenticity of the material is disputed. So, a question document is kuan ganit examine ang usa ka documents para ma-identify ang iyang source, ang iyang sources, and also its authenticity of the materials. So, ang giilang father of question document examination is si Albert Osborne. So, Albert Osborne is naturingan nga father of question document examination. It is because of his book entitled Question Documents. Ang sulod sa question document niya nga book is nag-analyze ni o nag-describe sa techniques for analyzing handwriting, including sa pag-examine sa ink and paper sa documents and other element sa document. And then, natures and classification of documents. Question documents have a variety of classes, including those that are handwritten, typewritten, copied, or serography, or kanang Xerox, or computer printed. Those with erasures, obliteration, additions, or indented writings, chair document and ink exams, or those that involve comparison, dating paper, and pencil lead. So, the distribution purposes documents are classified in following categories. General documents receiving full circulation. Ang kaning general documents is, it means anyone can have a access gani sa mga documents. Like sa Google, di ba? Pag natay i-search, maka-full access kita if ang author or ang nag-release ato nga document is nag-authorize niya nga makita sa bisan og lain-lain tao, di ba, lain-lain documents nga. Ibali kailangan pa ko mag-sign in ang Gmail nimo. Ibali na ay mga naiuban nga paliton pa nimo. Mao na siya ang sa uban sa kwan. Sa general is pwede ka maka-access, tanan tao maka-access like Google. Then limited documents for which wide circulation is unnecessary. Dili mao to ang pinayran pa or limit ra ang maka-access ato nga mga documents. Documents for which wide circulation is unnecessary because of the temporary nature of the documents, such as draft resolution, amendment, draft reports, and other action documents. Next is the restricted. So, ang restricted is those documents that are treated as confidential. Dilit pa ng tao or dilit ang citizen is maka-access ani nga ang documents kay gituring ini nga confidential, like sa mga government lambagan nga mga documents, dili kay tanang tao or tanang citizen maka-access sa ilang document kay confidential ang ilang mga documents. The other ay ways for proper care and handling of question documents. So, it means na ay do's and don'ts in handling a question documents. So, ang don'ts sa handling a question document is use staples, pins, or clips. So, dapat daw ang kanaang mga documents is nga mga important document is dapat dili kuno kanang stiperan, butangan ng pins or clips. Make perforations and then create new folds. Write on or other marks or otherwise mark the documents. If labeling and initiating is necessary, then make identification mark in blank spaces. Then next is write on the evidence envelope if it contains the documents. Touch the document with a pencil, pen, or other pointed instruments. So dili daw dapat kana ang pencil, dili daw dapat mo touch dito sa documents. Glue the pieces of a torn or fragmented documents. In case nga ang document is magisi, dili daw dapat siya kuan, dili daw dapat siya i-glue. Submit them as is in a sealed evidence package. Then make erasures, dapat daw dili ko no kana mag-make ng erasures sa mga documents, make any tracings, dyan mga lukma sa documents, cut or tear a documents, also do not attempt to repair a cut. Kung dili da dapat gision ang kanang may magisi sa documents, kung dyan mo dahil magisi dapat dili kuno siya i-repair pasagdaan na kuno daw. Underscore highlight or circle words, di ba kita kung magtonta is sa palinginan ng mga important kay mga details, pero kung mga important kay mga documents dapat dili kuno siya i-highlight or i-circle. Carry disputed documents loosely in pocket, kanang isod-sod sa ato ang mga bulsa, dili daw dapat. Allow other people to handle or pamper with question writings, dili daw dapat ni i-allow nga ihatag sa laing tao, especially if it is confidential. Allow the suspect to handle or see the disputed documents. Diyan sa mga korte na kay mga evidences nga mga documents then ihatag sa kanaang suspect, so dili daw na dapat pahawiran sa documents ay sa suspect and then ipakita og unay sulod sa document. Allow anyone other than a properly trained forensic scientist to make chemical or other test. So the dose or unsay pwedeng buhaton sa documents is use envelopes for storage and transportation. So para na dili mapugawan or masulat-sulatan or anything nga makadamage sa documents, dapat isuod ko ni sila ng envelope as storage and transportation. Then photocopy, photographs or scan the document as required. The process will not damage them in any way. Do not use the auto-fade option of a photocopier. So para daghan ka og kana ang copy sa kanang original nga mga document, dapat naka-photocopy siya, then photograph or scan the documents. Giingon diri ay nga through sa process dili man daw na ma-damage ang document. So okay ra siya ipa-photocopy or ipa-scan. Protect document from excessive heat, light or dampness. Then prepare a complete history of each document showing date, place and from whom it was obtained. So dapat maka-indicate dito sa document ang petsa, place, o kinsa gikan ang documents. Handle document as little as possible. So, dapat ingatan ang usa ka documents. Remember, the document evidence must be examined first before it is subjected to additional forensic examination. Be sure to state on the evidence package or in the request to the examiner that additional forensic testing is desired. So, mao siya ang mga dos sa proper care handling of question documents. Next is the standard of comparison. The standard or exemplars are legally admissible, authentic samples of handwriting used for comparison with question writing to determine the authenticity or spuriousness of the question writing. They are also called known samples. Their genuineness must be cleared and undisputed. So, kini is standard is they are known as kanang known samples or mahibalaan og asa ni sila gikan. First is there are two types of standard, the collected standard and the requested standard. Collected standard documents previously written in a normal and day-to-day course of business and known to be genuine may include bank records, letters, legal forms, etc. So ang collected standard, they are collected, dili sila kinawat ra or kwan, gi-collect sila like normal day-to-day course of business and known to be genuine. Next is requested. Samples that are subject is requested to give in order to facilitate the document examination. From the word requested, they are documents that kanaang nakuha sila through request. There must be no doubt about the authenticity of the standards. The document examiners needs to be able to rely on the standards, and the standards may need to be accepted as evidence in court. So, ang mga standard document daw is dapat dili ganit sila dudahan, especially if it is original or authentic. And then, they should be accepted as evidence in court. Then, in summary, the following are the do's and don'ts for collecting standards. So, mao ni siya ang mga dapat, mao ni dapat siya ang buhaton in collecting standards. First is do obtain sufficient handwriting exemplars. Matoy taglaong nga dapat in collecting standard document dapat nagkuhan ka ng 20 to 25 signatures and also 4 to 5 pages of handwriting or handprinting sa mao ni siya taglaong nga kadto ganing sa korte nga kung ang imuhang evidence is document dapat kanang mangayo ka ng 20 to 25 signatures from the owner or the real owner of the documents and also 4 to 5 pages of handwriting sa owner para ma-detect nila if ilahag o iyahag dito or dili. Don't rely on letter writing. Make sure you have enough to identify the writer. So mauto dapat enough ang imong document nga mag-gathered. Do collect like samples of handprinting with handprinting, ink signature with ink signatures, line paper with line paper, same size with the same size. So ang document is dapat kana ang nasay kuan ang signatures ang unoy tagamit nga ink signature amo daw dapat kung unsa ang paper nga gigamit dapat amo sa dapat ang imong ma-collect. Don't rely exclusively on writing that differs significantly from the question writing. Then do collect standard dating at approximately the same time as the question writing. Then ang don't is don't rely on document presently written if the comparison question documents were written many years ago. So ayaw pag-rely kuno sa kuman nga written to compare question documents nga na write pa sa mga many years ago na. Do collect documents that duplicate the writing environment, check with checks, contract with contracts. So dapat is na kay kana ang duplicate nga documents sa mga check or mga contract papers. Don't compare writing written under abnormal conditions such as intoxication with normal writing. So dili daw dapat ka mag-compare ng mga documents or handwriting documents dito sa sinulatan kibali sa usa ka person nga hubog. Imo pasulatan ng hubog. Dayon mo imong gamiton nga i-compare nimo sa original nga document. So dapat dili na nimo ngatas. So mao na siya dito tama ang sa chapter 3. So next is the chapter 4 na.